What's going on, everybody, and welcome back once again to the channel. And this is the first time that I speak to you guys in a couple of weeks. Made a video a few days ago, my pump up video for the playoffs, but this is the first video which I speak in since a couple weeks ago. But it's Super Wild Card weekend coming up this week, and I am really excited, and I want to get into my picks. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into it because we got a lot to discuss. First game, Seahawks at the 49ers. A divisional matchup here. These two teams obviously played 2 times earlier in the year. 49ers won both of those. Look, this is a game in which it's really going to depend a lot on Geno Smith. It's really that simple. I think the Seahawks are going to try and get the running game going early, and it's going to be very hard. It's very hard to run on the 49ers. I think if the Seahawks are going to have a chance in this game, it's going to be on Geno Smith's arm and him making throws, throughout the entire game and getting the ball to DK Metcalf and Noah Fant. Something the 49ers defense has struggled with this year is actually, and not many things, but one of them is actually stopping the tight ends. And for the Seahawks, they have a very good tight end in Noah Fant, but they're going to have to utilize him. I think Noah Fant needs at least 10 targets in this game. DK Metcalf cannot get slowed down like he did the previous time against cornerback Charvarius Ward of the 49ers. Like I said, the main thing in this game is, can Geno Smith win the Seahawks this game? It's really going to come down to him. I will say this, though. It's very hard to beat the same team 3 times in a year, and the 49ers have that going against them. A lot of people think the 49ers are just going to walk over them. I think this is going to be actually a pretty tight game, and I do have the 49ers winning it 30-23, but this is a game in which I think the 49ers really have to be careful with. Next game, Chargers at the Jaguars. Very interesting game here. 2 young quarterbacks making their first playoff starts. Chargers have a terrible track record in the state of Florida, and I think that could play a major role in this. The time change issue with this, a 3-hour thing here. But in terms of the actual field, the Jaguars are a team that, does well when they run the football with their running back Travis Etienne. The Chargers are one of the worst teams, if not the worst team, in the NFL when it comes to stopping the run. The Jaguars cannot get pass happy in this game with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence may have some jitters in this game, his first start, the playoffs, and we saw it last week against the Titans. To make it to the playoffs, the defense is what eventually ended up winning them that game. But, I think it's going to be vital that Travis Etienne gets going in this game, and they're giving him the ball to exploit the weakness of that Charger defense, and I think they will be able to. Travis Etienne can be a great receiving back too. I think this is a game in which they need to get Travis Etienne at least 20 carries and 10 targets in the receiving game, which sounds like a lot, but I really think that may be what it takes for them to win. Now, the Chargers on the other side of the ball, the Jaguars are going to need to, secondary is going to have to step up in this game to win this. They really will, because Justin Herbert is not going to shy away from gunning it downfield as usual. This is a game that I think can really go either way, but believe it or not, I'm taking the Jaguars to win it 29-26. I think the Jaguars are going to come out on top in this game. The Chargers are notorious for underperforming. I really think the Jaguars get the upset in this one. Then the Dolphins versus the Bills, another divisional matchup here. Tua got ruled out yesterday, which really, I think, puts away a lot of the hope for the Dolphins in this one. Skylar Thompson will get the start. I don't think this will be a complete blowout. They're division rivals. It's a playoff game. I think the Dolphins will do everything they can to stay in this game, but ultimately the Bills will just outdo them. I got the Bills winning at 31-17. Then the Giants at the Vikings, another rematch from a game earlier this year. This is a game in which, I see a lot of people picking the Giants, which, is funny because, the Vikings are 13-14, playing a wild card. This is Daniel Jones' first start. I do think the Vikings offensively are going to have a big day. I don't think the Giants have the secondary to keep up with this Vikings passing attack. I expect the Giants to do a lot of blitzes like Wink Martindale usually likes to do, the defensive coordinator of them. Can they get a turnover out of Kirk Cousins while doing that? Maybe, and if they can get one or two, maybe this game could go in their direction. But obviously, Saquon Barkley is going to be a big part of this. The Giants' receiving core is pretty bad, and I don't think, even though Daniel Jones has had a very good year, I don't think they're ready to put this game on his shoulders. They're going to need Saquon Barkley to come up big for them in this game, but I got the Vikings winning it 31-24. Then the Ravens at the Bengals. Another divisional matchup here. These teams just played last week, but very different game here. It's very possible Lamar Jackson plays. At this time, it's a little uncertain, the time of making this video. I'm going to assume he does play. But these two teams, when they played twice earlier this year, the Ravens won the first one, Bengals won the second one. But Joe Burrow usually has a thing for coming out against the Ravens. Last year he had over 1,000 yards against them through 2 games and like 10 touchdowns, something outrageous like that. I think the Bengals offense will be limited at times in this game. The Ravens defense is good, but there's no way you can completely shut them down. And on the other side of the ball, I do think this is a good matchup for the Ravens in terms of their running attack. I think the Ravens with Lamar Jackson will really be able to get a good 1-2 punch at running back with J.K. Dobbins and then Lamar Jackson with the read option. So I think that's one of the main reasons why it's vital Lamar plays in this game. But in terms of the Ravens passing attack in this game, I think it's really going to be a third down and medium kind of thing is when they want to pass it, because I do not like this Ravens passing attack matched up against the Bengals secondary. The Bengals secondary is very good, and the Ravens passing attack is not very good. Ravens need to make sure they stay disciplined and run the ball on first and second downs with Lamar or without Lamar. I got the Bengals winning it though 28-24. And then the final game, the Monday night game, the Monday night playoff game, Cowboys versus the Buccaneers. Maybe the toughest game to predict because these two teams are just completely unpredictable. Tom Brady 7-0 against the Cowboys in his career. Can he get it to 8-0? The Buccaneers secondary is very, very bad, but their run defense is very, very good. I think they will be able to limit the dynamic duo of Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. I really do think they will be able to limit that. Which means it's going to come down to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, I do think, is going to pass the ball 35 to 40 times in this game, which mathematically says that he's going to throw at least 1 or 2 picks with the amount of picks he's been throwing, and if he ends up having to pass it that much, that's what's going to happen. If he gives the Buccaneers short fields, Tom Brady's going to go and win this game. That's what Tom Brady's been feeding off of for the last 20 plus years, feeding off of other quarterbacks' mistakes and other teams' mistakes. And for the Bucs, really, they just need to do the same thing. Take care of the football and hope your defense gives you a chance to win this game in the end. I think the Bucs will struggle on offense. I think the Cowboys are going to struggle on offense. And I really think this game can go either way, but I'm going to lean towards, the more proven quarterback than Tom Brady. I got the Buccaneers winning it 23-22. Comment down below what you guys think about all this. I'm super excited for Super Wildcard Weekend, but other than that, I will see you guys next time. Let's go.